It's almost 7 a.m. This is not a time of day that I normally see, but I have to be in the hospital at 7:30 because apparently I'm first on the schedule, which I guess is a good thing because then hopefully they'll just get me right in and I won't have to sit around waiting. Usually when I have surgeries and stuff, both my mom and Catherine come with me. But in times of corona, you're only allowed to have one person come with you. So sadly, Catherine has to stay home today because we decided that my mom is like the more experienced medical advocate type of person. So she's better equipped to like get information or like make decisions if anything went wrong or whatever. So my mom will be here soon to pick me up and we will be starting my sinus surgery adventure. It's now about 13 hours since my surgery. Thankfully, things went well. Only took like beginning to end like about 3 hours from when I went in until I got out. So it's pretty quick. I'm not, having my best day ever, as you can probably see. I have some packing in my sinuses. Sometimes they'll put in more packing and then you'll have less bleeding coming out of your nose. But this time they put in not as much packing. So I've just had a nosebleed for the last, 13 hours. So hence the gauze tied onto my face, which I have to keep changing every hour or two because it gets saturated. And then I've got this, which is giving oxygen, but that's not why I need it. It's giving humidification to keep like my mouth and my sinuses from getting dried out. So that is all not terribly comfortable, but it's not surprising. I knew that this was coming. The one thing that's also not fun is I have to keep my head tilted forward so that the blood runs out my nose. If I tilt my head back, I get like a wash of blood down my throat. So that's not so fun. I'm kind of like a dysfunctional vampire right now. I keep, swallowing lots of blood, except it's my own blood that I'm drinking. So I think as vampires go, I'm a little confused about how this works. I'm also not allowed to blow my nose for obvious reasons. We don't want to be like putting all kinds of pressure and whatever up there while stuff is all cut open and healing. But it's incredibly annoying because my nose is completely stuffed up with blood, and I can like very much feel all the stuff in my nose. And I can't blow it. It's kind of like having an itch and not being able to scratch it. So, yeah, that's not so fun. But overall, surgery has gone well. I am in pain, obviously all kinds of sinus headache going on, but I'm taking Percocet, and it's very much keeping it to a manageable level, thankfully. So, could be worse. Not fun, but definitely could be worse. All right, day 2, and I am home. Yay. I saw the surgeon this morning. He said everything went great. There was a lot of junk in my sinuses that he cleared out, like mucus and stuff. There was also some polyps and some inflammation, and he said that there were a couple areas of my frontal sinuses that he
like shaved the bone away to widen the entrance to them, so that in the future, after the thing heals, when I do like my sinus rinses and stuff, that stuff will flush through them more cleanly and more completely, and just get more out to prevent stuff from like getting all built up and impacted as quickly. So that's good. He was very pleased with how everything went. I'm still feeling pretty gross. My nose is still bleeding. He said I could expect it to bleed for a few days probably, because he did do a lot of work. So that's fun and exciting. I am utterly exhausted. Did not really sleep very well. It's a little hard to sleep basically sitting up so that you don't choke on your own blood. And then even so, I still was like, would wake up like swallowing blood, and it was just gross and not very restful. And then I was nauseous in the morning because I had been swallowing blood all night long. So overall, that was loads of fun. Hopefully tonight will go a little better. The bleeding is slowing down. It's still significant, but it's slowing down. So here's hoping that tonight goes better. And I'm now back on the IV antibiotic train, back on Zosyn. They sent me out my pump and my antibiotic today. Unfortunately, they forgot to send me the carry bag for the pump. So right now everything is just like shoved into an old purse, and we're gonna hope for the best until I can get the bag tomorrow. So that was a little frustrating. I also had some frustration with discharge that, you know, even though I asked repeatedly, nobody had made the calls necessary to set up home care until I asked specifically for a discharge planner. And then she was upset because she was like, thank you. Well, she actually thanked me for being proactive, because she was like, nobody told me to set up your home care. And then there was like an issue with the home care company and the orders being lost, and it was a whole mess. Today was a little bit messy. We got it under control. I'm home and I am ready to sleep. All right, it's now the end of day 3. Today was a little rough, not gonna lie. On the plus side, the bleeding has slowed down significantly, so no drainage gauze on my face, so that's nice. Still a little bit of bleeding, but I'm able to, you know, take care of it with a tissue. I did wear the drainage sponge when I was like sleeping today, because obviously I'm not like wiping my nose while I'm sleeping. But the last time that I napped, I didn't get any blood on the drainage sponge, so I might take a risk tonight and try sleeping without a drainage sponge, or as I like to call it, a nose hammock. I think it's a nice name. But I might skip the nose hammock tonight and try and get a more decent night's sleep, and hopefully not be gross. So we'll see how that goes. But I did have more pain today, which I was surprised, because yesterday for some reason I had very little pain, which also was surprising. Actually, I didn't take any painkillers all day yesterday until like later at night I started to hurt again and took something. But today I've been in pain most of the day, and just very, very exhausted, and kind of like, you know, my head's all stuffed up and just feeling kind of brain foggy. So I really slept almost the entire day today, and I'm still exhausted. I've been doing sinus rinses. I was surprised when my doctor told me to resume my sinus rinses immediately. I have like a little 8-ounce sinus squeeze bottle thing that flushes saline through my sinuses. I thought that was going to be too intense for right after surgery, but he actually said I should do it as much as possible. So I've been doing that a few times a day to help, you know, clear things out. And I am doing better today in terms of airflow in my nose. The first a couple days, I really couldn't breathe in at all through my nose. There was just too much stuff in the way. But I am able to breathe in through my nose now. There's still stuff in there. It's not clear, but it's way better than it was. And my doctor said the more I can, breathe through my nose, the better it is. And if I can kind of like sniff in and clear stuff down the back of my throat to try and just kind of empty stuff out of my sinuses. So I've been working on that, and that's actually been going pretty well. Day 4 so far is looking very similar to day 3. Discomfort, extreme exhaustion, just generally feeling kind of blah. I've basically slept all day. I'm also having side effects from my IV antibiotics, so that's tearing through my digestive system right now. So that's an added layer of fun and joy to this whole experience. Good thing is that I have not needed to use the drain pad or the nose hammock since yesterday. I was able to sleep without it, which was definitely far more comfortable. So that is definite progress. But it looks like probably the next few days are just going to be me being really tired and sleeping a lot. And then in a few days I have my follow-up, so we'll see what happens then. So I think I'm going to wrap this video up here. Stay tuned for more post-sinus surgery recovery adventures.